Our 40th president once said, "Before I refuse to take your questions, I have an opening statement." Well, while Ronald Reagan was just letting the air out of a combative press, you don't have to worry about that here. Our announcer, Keith Bilbrey, is standing by with our audience, and I promise to answer their questions without reservation or an opening statement. All right, Keith, what do we got?
When he doesn't need a reservation, don't you? What's your name?
My name is Mitch.
Mitch, what do you got for us?
Governor, interesting that you mentioned the press. That's the beginning of my question. I'm a bivocational pastor here in the city. I have the privilege of driving every week the Pence and Trump campaign bus through our state. So I've had the opportunity to witness firsthand the sarcasm and the rudeness of our press. In light of this week's announcement that our president was fit to hold the office that we elected him to hold, how do we begin to see the press? How do they take responsibility for repairing the relationship with the White House that they've destroyed?
Well, to put it in a couple of words, fake news.
I'd like that.
One of the most remarkable things that happened this week was the president's physician, who, by the way, was the physician for George W. Bush, as well as for Barack Obama, and selected by the Obamas. This is not a political guy. He cares less about politics. He's a medical practitioner. He does the examination, very thorough. They release more information than has ever been released about a president. And he says, this president is in excellent health. And the press can't handle that. And the next day, Sanjay Gupta of CNN goes out and says he has heart disease. Now, interestingly, the doctor who examined him did not say that, nor did the Cleveland Clinic, who was consulted on his medical exam, one of the finest, most reputable heart clinics in the entire world. But a doctor who has never seen him made that decision. So I just thought it was outrageous that you had media doctors who had never seen the patient, but making a diagnosis. So, Keith, I'm going to go ahead and diagnose you, since I've never medically examined you.
I hope.
Yeah. Kind of took that one away from me, Keith.
Sorry. Just couldn't resist.
Anyway, look, the press is incorrigible, and there's nothing else we can do for them. Let's go to our next question.
Yes, ma'am. What's your name?
Eleanor.
Eleanor?
Yes.
What would you like to ask the governor?
Governor, what is your personal stance on the medical marijuana issue that's flooding the nation, and why?
You know, if a doctor believes that marijuana would help his or her patient, then I wouldn't try to get in the way. I don't believe in recreational marijuana. And I don't believe, marijuana administered for the purpose of, smoking it probably makes a lot of sense. But if there is a doctor who honestly and scientifically believes that that would help a patient, and I've heard doctors say some patients are helped by it, then a medical use to me is very different than a recreational use. We got enough people in America who already have the munchies. We do not need to have several million more with recreational marijuana. So that's kind of where I look at it. And I've never used marijuana. I won't just say like Clinton, I never inhaled. I never touched the stuff. I didn't inhale, exhale. I didn't eat it. I didn't have a brownie. I've never had a cookie with it. So I can't attest to the pharmaceutical effects of it. But I know that I've never met anybody who was a regular user that I thought was really a lot, let's just say a lot more. They were not a better driver, didn't show up for work earlier, didn't stay later, so I just can't attest that it would be of great value unless there was a medical necessity. Well, if you've got a question or a comment, whether it's positive or negative, just keep it to yourself. No, actually, we want you to send it to us at my2cents@tbn.tv.